Hi, my name is Mark and welcome to the Media Nerd. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to operate the Epson FastFoto. Now this machine is really slick. I've been doing media transfers for over 20 years now, and I have had this particular machine for about 5 years, and it's a real workhorse. And you can still get the same model on Amazon because I don't think there was anything wrong with it 5 years ago, so I never updated anything, I don't believe, but it works great. And I really highly recommend that if you're in the media transfer business like I am, or if you're just a person that has tons and tons of photos, this is a really great machine to use. It'll work on a PC and also on a Mac, and it has a USB. This particular model has USB, but I'm going to use my Mac, which doesn't have a USB port, but it has the C port. So I bought a little adapter on Amazon. I can put that in the video description as well if you want. But it just plugs right in, and now we can be off and running. Before we get started with scanning, I just wanted to show you the exterior of it. So it opens up just like this. Right here is where you slide your photos in, and it has an adjustment so you can choose your size of photos. If you have really large photos like 8.5 by 11 or panoramic photos, this will slide up just like that. And it also has a catch chute right here for your photos that just pulls right out, and that opens up so the photos don't go flying. That really extends far. That's like that. Pretty neat. I really like this machine. So let's get this over here and let's start scanning some photos. Okay, let's get started with a basic software setup here, and I have it open. So let's go to settings. And the first tab is organization. And it says select a folder for my files. I already did that. And you click this button right here, and you can select whatever folder that you want. I am in my Media Nerd and the Epson FastFoto. Now the file prefix, that's pretty important. So what I'm gonna do for this video is scan my BFF's wedding photos, just at least some of them. So his name is Sam, so I'm gonna name it Sam. That's good. Now we're gonna go to enhanced photo. Make sure everything I got there. Enhance photo, auto enhance, remove red eye, restore faded colors. And that is really cool. Now, this is the cool part of the software program. You can apply these enhancements directly to the scanned photo or do a second copy. And I always do second copy. That way, if I like the original scan, I keep that. If I like the enhanced scan, I'll keep that. It's a nice choice. Scan settings. So standard photos, you have 300 DPI, 600 DPI, or 1200 DPI, and your file format can be a JPEG or a TIFF. I like using TIFF, and I like scanning at a higher DPI, like 1200 DPI. So standard photos are photos like this, or any other bigger, like all the way up to 8.5 by 11, or even standard photos like this one. But then you also have instant photos. The instant photos are your Polaroid. So you can't mix up the standard and the Polaroid together. You have to scan them separately. And then you have your panoramic photos, which are the real long ones, and that's where this really comes in handy. So scan the back of my photos with the Epson single step technology. That is pretty cool. You can click that. If they have anything written on the back, like this says Taylor, 1 year old. So it'll scan the back of this photo if I wanted to. I'm gonna leave that off for now. So let's go to advanced settings. Auto rotation, it works sometimes. It works here and there. So that means if I scan my photo upside down, it's going to auto-correct it to right side up. it works part of the time. Curled photo correction, that's pretty cool. And reduce lines and streaks. Recommend keeping all of these on. You can always flip your photos manually. So upload, you can upload it to Dropbox or Google Drive, which is really neat. I never do. I just do it right onto an external hard drive and then I give it to my clients via flash drive, but you can also do it this way. Scanner settings, I wouldn't really mess with that or the other settings. You don't have to worry about anything like that either. So let's hit close and we have everything ready to go and it says start scanning right here at the top. So I'm gonna take Sam's photos and I'm gonna put them in. Let's put them in, I guess, upside down because I think that's the way it actually would go. We'll see what happens. And if it's wrong, maybe we'll see if it'll auto-correct. So it'll say start scanning. It gives you an option right here if you want to put the year and the month and the subject along with your photo, only if you want to. Or right here you can say, do not prompt me to describe my photos when scanning. Say start scanning, and you can see I put a lot of photos in. It'll take quite a bit of photos, up to like 20 or 30, but I just recommend doing small batches. So let's hit scan and see what happens. Now it's gonna pull from the back of the pile. So it said on that high resolution 1200 DPI that it takes about 10 seconds for each photo. So it's just scanning it at the moment, but then it has to process it. And that's what can take a few minutes. That's great. Now on the screen, it's saying please wait. And then it'll say done scanning or scan the next batch. I'm gonna say done scanning for now. Done scanning. So it's now processing the 12 photos that I put in. While that's doing that, if you happen to have a jam in your machine, there's a button right here that'll open up the device and you can get your photo out. And jams happen if you accidentally have like a paper clip in your photo or a staple or there's something sticky, it'll jam up. So you really got to make sure that your photos are nice and clean before you put them in. This machine, it really is a lifesaver when it comes to scanning large batches of photos. Years ago, before I had this, I had an Epson flatbed and I could only do like 3 or 4 pictures at the most at a time. And that took forever to do. And this, it just sort of shoots them right out. Really nice. Here we go. Now let's see if I put them right side up or upside down. There they are. So it's giving you 2 of each. One is the regular photo and one is the enhanced. So as soon as it shows all these pictures, that's just see, if you can see on the screen, it did put a couple of them sideways or upside down. That could have been my fault, but it didn't auto-rotate like it said it would. I believe I checked the button for auto-rotate. I thought I did. Okay, so there's me and my buddy Sam. Best friends, we talk like every day. Looks so young. So here's the original, here's the enhanced. Him and his wife. So the original and the enhanced, they both look great. Oh, let's go back. There's another one. That's the enhanced. I like them both. I like them both. Now that we're in this, you can see that this one needs to be rotated, and I can pick this one, and I believe there is a rotate button right here, so I can go rotate right. Now this process is going to take a minute, but it'll rotate your photo. There, now it's rotated. These were upside down. That could have been the machine or me, so I'm going to hit rotate right. Do it one more time. Great. Now I could have selected these two photos with the other two that only needed one turn, but I didn't. So that's it. This stack of photos is done. So now let's go ahead and get these Polaroids done as well. So we're gonna go back up to settings and click on the instant photo, drop them in just like that. I have them upside down. Let's see what happens when they go upside down. Close, start scanning. Here's the Polaroids. Okay. So that's interesting. So here's the first picture. I like the enhanced better. So these were upside down. So let's select these, rotate once, rotate again. Awesome. Now let's do these two photos of the kiddos. These are my nephews. They're like in their 30s now. So we're gonna go back to settings, standard photo, close, start scanning. They're so small. There we go. That looks great. So there, I think that's Tate. I like the enhanced photo better. I like the enhanced photo better. So that's it. That's how I digitize photos for my family, my friends, and also for clients. It really works out great. Everyone's always very, very happy with it. I put a link to where to buy this on Amazon in the video description, as well as the little USB-C port adapter as well. Now, by clicking those links and making a purchase, you will be helping me out, and I thank you very much for that. Now, if you don't have the time or the means to transfer your own media, you can always contact me. I have a website, www.coloradospringsvideo.com. It has an order form on that site that you can fill out and send to me. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful time digitizing your media.